Hi, I'm Lonnie Ward. Over the past 15 years, I've worked in countries battling extreme poverty, meeting incredible people, and learning life-changing lessons. Now, I'm here to share their stories and a few of my own with you. I can't wait to take you along. Wind swept softly across the grassy fields, perfuming the air of the Intag region with the smell of green foliage. Trees stretched their limbs towards the sky, their branches woven with vines and bright flowers. Birdsong could be heard from the trees as crimson birds flitted between the foliage, letting out a strange guttural call that echoed through the valley. Beneath it all, the steady rush of the river wound its way through the land, carrying with it the lifeblood of the forest and the communities that called this place home. In this remote paradise, survival had always depended upon ingenuity, resilience, and the ability to harness the natural world in unexpected ways. Nestled in the heart of the Intag Valley of Ecuador lived a man by the name of Eduardo Merizalde. His ingenuity was a testament to the power of using the resources around you. His small wooden shack, tucked away in a grove of trees in the Intag region, stood humbly beneath a tin roof. Behind it, a small stream trickled down from the mountains, its waters diverted through a carefully placed pipe that Eduardo had built himself. As we approached, we could see the way he had guided the stream into a controlled flow, powering a series of paddles attached to an axle. That axle, in turn, spun a network of belts and wheels inside his workshop, driving this water-powered spinning wheel. Eduardo welcomed us with a smile, his silver hair tucked beneath a well-worn gray baseball cap. His tanned, weathered hands gestured as he explained how he spun cabuya fiber, a plant with long serrated leaves, into twine. He demonstrated the process, feeding the fibers into the spinning wheel and watching as the machine did in hours what would have taken days by hand. With his setup, he could produce a spool of twine in just 2.5 hours, earning the equivalent of a full day's wages in half the time. More than that, he had built the wheel to accommodate multiple spinners, allowing his children to learn the trade. The additional income had funded their education, and years later, he proudly shared that they had gone on to study at the university and were thriving professionally. As I stood in his modest workshop, the rhythmic hum of the spinning wheel filling the space, I thought about the incredible impact of one person identifying and utilizing the resources available to them. Eduardo's innovation was not just about efficiency, it was about opportunity. That same lesson lay at the heart of what we hope to achieve in the Intag region. In 2015, my team in Ecuador first told me about this mountainous area northwest of Cotacachi. It was known as the Cloud Forest, where mist rolled in each evening, blanketing the valley with a thick fog. The beauty of the place was breathtaking. Hummingbirds with iridescent feathers flitted between vibrant flowers, and the dense forest teemed with life. Yet beneath this natural splendor lay significant challenges. The remote location made education and economic development nearly impossible. 95% of the children had no opportunity to study beyond secondary school. Universities and technical schools were too far, and leaving the region was beyond reach for most families. When we arrived in the small community of Apuela, we found a promising site upriver, land that could house an educational center. What started as a simple, modest plan for a school quickly grew. The vision expanded into a full-fledged technical school with a projected construction cost of $1.3 million. ASEA, a company with strong humanitarian focus, visited and committed to funding and supporting the construction. When we first arrived, we conducted a baseline survey to understand the conditions of the region. We invited the mayor of Apuela to join us as we visited households, many of which were in extreme poverty. To his surprise, he had been unaware that such dire conditions existed within his own municipality. Seeing this reality firsthand deeply affected him and from that moment on, he became a strong advocate for his people, pushing for more resources and support to address these urgent needs. With the commitment of the 16 de Julio University to send instructors, the project moved forward. The first step was to ensure access. Initially, the site was only reachable by footbridge. Working alongside community leaders, we built a road from Apuela, making transportation easier for materials and later for students. Volunteers from ASEA arrived each year, helping construct the first building, nearly the size of a football field, designed to house welding, electrical, and automotive training programs. The first welding class launched with 16 eager students. Many went on to start businesses or secure jobs in Quito and beyond. As the school expanded, we added a culinary arts center, a faculty dormitory, and an additional dorm for students. Culinary students improved the quality of the local restaurants, boosting tourism. An electrical program trained students to wire homes and repair power issues, addressing critical needs within the community. As Inta Kara grew, so did the local economy. With support from FIEDS, an Italian-Ecuadorian development organization, farmers gained access to cold storage processing and packaging facilities that were constructed at the Inta Kara Center. They learned to enhance crop yield and quality, securing certification for exports to Spain. Increased income meant more opportunities, sparking a wave of economic growth. Artisans, like those who wove cabuya fiber into crafts, found new markets. Even local homes transformed. Families were taught how to convert their homes into hostels, hosting volunteers and tourists, reinvesting earnings into their households, and creating long-term financial stability. Nearly a decade after the first steps toward building Inta Kara, we returned in 2024 to see just how much had changed. As we arrived at the center, the people of the Intag region welcomed us with a celebration. The soccer field had been transformed into a vibrant gathering space with amphitheater-style seating leading up towards the kitchens. The ceremony began with a traditional cleansing ritual meant to purify and bless both visitors and hosts alike. Tables overflowed with fresh produce, a testament to the land's richness and the community's progress. Each guest was offered a bowl of warm barley porridge, a symbolic gesture of the prosperity and gratitude. Artisans proudly displayed their handicraft wares, turning the event into a lively marketplace. Then the music began. Traditional dancers took to the field, their movements full of energy and history. Soon we were invited to join in, laughter and joy blending as the cultures intertwined in the dance. It felt like a festival, not just a celebration of Inta Kara's success, but a tribute to the journey that had brought us here. Standing amid the musicians and celebration, I thought back to Eduardo. I missed him and longed to see him again. Later that week, we returned to visit him. Though now well into his 80s, he still spun cabuya fiber with the same practiced hands. The lines in his face had deepened, and he no longer stood quite as tall, but his spirit remained unchanged. His children, now well established, ensured he was financially secure, making his craft more of a passion than a necessity. He proudly shared updates about their successes, their ability to access education having paved the way for their prosperity. As I listened, I felt an overwhelming sense of fulfillment, knowing that with the creation of the Inta Kara Center, that same opportunity would now be extended to all the children of the region. A bright and prosperous future for Intag felt closer than ever. The story of Eduardo has stayed with me for years, not just because of his ingenuity, but because of what it represented. He had looked at what was available to him and found a way to build something greater. That, I realized, was the real lesson of Inta Kara. It wasn't just about constructing buildings or launching programs. It was about helping people see the value in their own resources, their own skills, and their own potential. Sometimes all it takes is someone to help identify those opportunities, and from there, transformation can begin. The story of Inta Kara isn't finished. New ideas continue to emerge. More people are getting involved, and communities are realizing their power to shape their own futures. Just like Eduardo harnessed the power of his small mountain stream, the people of Intag are now harnessing their own potential. And that is a force that will keep flowing for generations to come. Thanks for joining me today. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who'd love these stories too. To learn more or connect with me, visit lonnieward.com. Until next time, be the change.